So you're working with AI on Azure and you know things are always changing, right? But what about your career? Well, today we're going to talk about one of the biggest shifts you can make, that leap from being a hands-on builder to a strategic architect. It's a real journey from just implementation to, imagination. And it's all defined by two key Microsoft certs, the AI 102 and the new AB 100. Okay, you've spent your time in the trenches making AI actually work. You can spin up the bots, you can connect the APIs, you've got the skills. But that next step in your career, it asks a totally different kind of question. It's not just about what you can build anymore, but what you should build and why. So the real question is, are you ready to put down the tools and start designing the blueprint? Before we can talk about where we're going, we've got to be clear about where we're starting from, right? So first, let's get a really solid picture of that AI builder role. This is the foundation for so many AI pros on Azure, and it's the whole focus of the AI 102 certification. The official title is Azure AI Engineer. And really, the AI 102 is all about proving you can take all those incredible pre-built AI services that Microsoft gives us, things like cognitive services, the bot service, and actually bring them to life inside an application. This is the person who makes the AI do stuff. And just look at how technical and hands-on these skills are. The AI 102 professional, they live in code, whether it's C# or Python, using SDKs and APIs to get very specific solutions up and running. Computer vision, natural language processing, building a chatbot, the focus is squarely on the implementation. And this picture? It just perfectly captures that day-to-day reality. The AI engineer is always on the tools. They are right there in the Azure portal, configuring a search service, setting up a new indexer, wiring up a cognitive services resource. It's all about the practical, get-it-done side of making technology work. But here's the thing. Being a great builder isn't the end of the road. There's a point you reach where the most important questions aren't about how to build something anymore, but why you're even building it in the first place. And that brings us to this really crucial gap between just implementing stuff and thinking about high-level strategy. And here it is. This is the fundamental mindset shift we're talking about. The AI 102 implementer's world revolves around the how. How do I connect this API? How do I configure this service? But the AB 100 architect, they're playing a different game. They're asking, why? Why is this the right answer for the business? What should the whole system look like so that it's secure, scalable, and actually valuable? This quote from a fellow professional on Reddit, it just absolutely nails it. The AI 102 exam might test if you can find the right syntax in the docs really fast, but the architect role, it's about something you can't just look up. It's about judgment. It's about making those tough calls, balancing all these competing needs, like the business goals, security requirements, and all those enterprise-level constraints. So with that in mind, let's really dig into this architect's mindset. This is a completely different way of looking at AI solutions, and it's exactly what that new AB 100 certification is all about. Whoa, just look at the sheer scope of these responsibilities. We are way beyond code now. The architect is thinking about big concepts like multi-agent systems where you have multiple AI models working together. And they're doing ROI analysis to even justify a project's existence. They have to make sure the whole thing is compliant and governed by responsible AI principles. They're part strategist, part evangelist, the whole shebang. So here's the big takeaway. The architect role literally elevates you. You're not just executing a plan someone else gave you anymore. You are the one creating the plan. You're designing that strategic blueprint that's going to guide the entire organization's approach to an AI solution. Okay, so we're talking about this blueprint, but what does that actually look like in the real world? Well, it's a huge balancing act. The architect is constantly weighing these critical and often competing priorities. The goal is to design something that's not just powerful, but also safe, secure, and smart for the business. Now, this is really interesting. Take a look at where Microsoft puts the emphasis in the AB 100 exam. Sure, planning and design are critical, about a quarter each, but deployment, governance, and security, that makes up a massive 40 to 45% of the score. The message here is crystal clear. It's not enough to build cool AI anymore. You have to build AI that is safe, compliant, and responsibly deployed. And let's be super clear about what this exam is. It's a business and architecture exam. It is not going to ask you to write Python code on the spot or quiz you on the deep math behind a neural network. It's going to throw real-world business scenarios at you and test your ability to think and reason your way through them. This is kind of like the mental framework an architect uses every single time. When a problem comes up, they don't just jump to the coolest, most powerful tech. No, they systematically work through it. First, what's the business goal? Then, what are our constraints? Budget, time, regulations. Then they figure out the right AI fit, evaluate the options, and finally choose that balanced answer, the one that navigates all the trade-offs between pure power and responsible safety. So understanding this fundamental difference, this massive gap between the builder and the architect, is absolutely key. It helps you decide what the next step in your own AI career journey really should be. All right, let's just boil this all down side by side so it's crystal clear. On one side, you've got the builder. Think of them as working with bricks and tools. On the other side, the architect, working with blueprints and constraints. The builder's focus is that deep technical implementation. The architect, they're focused on business strategy and governance. And finally, the builder's primary skill is using SDKs and APIs, while the architect excels at design, trade-off analysis, and justifying the ROI. And hey, this isn't just some abstract idea we're talking about. Microsoft has actually made this career path official. The AI 102 is now a hard prerequisite for the AB 100 exam. That just confirms their view that you need that strong, hands-on foundation as a builder before you can launch into a strategic architectural role. So when you get right down to it, it all comes down to this. The builder is all about solving the how. The architect, they're tackling the why. Both are absolutely critical roles, but man, they lead down very different paths. The only question left is, which one are you getting ready to answer next?